Give it up again for the ambassadors. Face of Kenya, UK 2019. I mean, I know how hard it is to raise 20 pounds. So to raise 1,000 pounds, 700 pounds, 200 pounds, they've done amazing. You can sit down, please. Now we're gonna have to go quickly because we need to have time to dance at the end and celebrate the winner, isn't it? Yeah, so the few speakers who are coming now, we're gonna rush them because we needed to give the ambassadors the time they deserve. So I'm going to be asking Veronica Kararwa to have 3 minutes, 5 minutes of talking to us about Kevin Kararwa Foundation. Thank you very much.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening again. Are we not having a good time? First of all is to thank everyone who is here. Thank you to the judges, to the Deputy Commissioner, and most of all to Janet for giving me these 5 minutes to come and say something about our foundation. If you would have seen me probably a few years ago, there is no way I would have been able to stand here and talk to a crowd like you. But on 20th of April 2012, you would have found me in my kitchen singing happily as I was preparing a meal for my family. Life was good. I had nothing to complain about. 2 wonderful boys, Kevin and Ian, one in university and one in college. I also had a wonderful job with the NHS as a director of behavior therapist. So really and truly, at my standards, life was all good. Until the phone rang that day. It was my Kevin. And the words he proceeded to say would change all our lives forever. He said, "Mom, I have leukemia." What? Leukemia? Leukemia? What are you saying? I couldn't believe what he was saying. I didn't know how to feel. How would you feel? But even after everything had sunk in, I thought that things would be fine, that he'll get a donor, and life will be back to normal. But friends, things didn't go back to normal. Because on 20th of May, 2014, Kevin died. He couldn't get a donor. And so, Kevin Kararwa Leukemia Trust was born. We did not only want to honor Kevin and his positive fighting spirits, but what we wanted is also to make a difference. And why is that? Because there is a shortage of stem cell donors in general, but specifically from the black people. I didn't know this until things happened to us. And why do we need to do this? Because stem cell donation goes with heritage. And what does that mean? It means if you're black, you match a black. If you're Caucasian, you match a Caucasian. If you're Asian, you match an Asian. But for us, if you are black and you're unfortunate to get leukemia, you got less than 20% chance of getting a donor. And the question is, why is that so? And it is only because, as black people, we do not register to become potential stem cell donors. Donating or becoming a potential stem cell donor is so simple. It all requires a saliva test. Did you all know that? How many knows that? only very few people who knows that. In fact, even once you have become a potential donor, it does not mean that you're a donor. It just means that you have agreed to become a potential donor. It's only when you match someone that they call you. And even if you become you call to donate, it is also so simple, it is like giving blood. So how many of you here have ever given blood? So, oh, well done. So it's so simple because all what they do is that they get blood from your one arm, they get it through a machine, they put back everything else on the other arm, and what they do, they harvest white blood cells. And those white blood cells, they are the ones that they go and give a patient. And by that, you save a life. It's so simple. Do you agree with me? Yes. Now, here's the question. Why don't we do it? What stops us to do these things? Now, you have looked at the room. So how many people here have given blood again? Please, let us look at those people in this room. And let me give you a challenge. If anything happened to you right now, or outside this door, and you had an accident, touch wood, nothing is going to happen. And if you went to hospital, are you guaranteed to get blood? Yes or no? Yes. Now, here's the question. If you know for sure if you went to hospital today, you would get a pint of blood, which is good because with blood, you can get blood from anyone so long as you get your type. But the question is, where do you think that blood comes from? So why are we not in the list? Why are we not donating? And the challenge I want to give us today is this. I know we complain as black people that maybe we get marginalized or people are discriminative or all this and that. But let us ask ourselves this question. What are we doing to ourselves? Can we solve our own problems? Because with blood, anybody can give you blood. But with stem cell donation, you can only get it from person from your own heritage. And if we don't solve our own problem, this one is one problem that cannot be solved by any other race. It is a problem we can only solve. Now, the question is, why don't we do it? What stops us to do it? And I know there are so many reasons that stops us to do it. I have been going out because we sign up people. You have seen us everywhere trying to sign up people. But it is so discouraging and frustrating when I see our people, when we go where there are Caucasians, you don't talk to them 2 minutes before they sign up. But for our people, you spend 30 minutes with someone, and then they'll still tell you, I'll think about it. It is so discouraging, and it breaks my heart. Because let me tell you, one day, I always thought that stuff happens to others, until, of course, it happens to me. And it can happen to you, and I'll give you a very short story. Recently, I signed up a lady, and she signed up to become a potential donor. And then, I think we signed her up back in 2016. And then on 2018, she traveled to America to go and see her brother, who had just been diagnosed with leukemia. Now, when she came back from America, she found a message for her that she has matched someone. Could she call DKMS to say whether she could be able to donate? Now, she called me, and I encouraged her to do what is required. Unfortunately, she thought about it. And of course, she thought like African people, the way we think. She thought, oh, I can't donate for that one. My brother has just been diagnosed with leukemia, so I must stop that so that I might match my brother. But little did she know, it was her brother. And when she told me that, she didn't know, because what she did is she withdrew to become a donor. And then in America, what they told the brother, because this is all very confidential, they never tell you who is who. They told his brother, we have found a donor for you in Europe. And immediately she withdrew, they told her brother, your donor has withdrawn. And that's how we got to know, or she got to know that she had, and she was so sorry, because what they had also done is to remove her from the donor. Anyway, before I sit down, all I want to challenge you is, let us do something. Let us do the right thing. We know in the hearts of our hearts that saving a life is a good thing. Yes or no? Yes. So we can all do something that can save a life. And what I'll leave you with is, if you know that saving a life is a good thing, I remember it's Napoleon Bonaparte who said this, that the world is not an evil place because of the few evil people, but it is a bad place because of so many good people who decide to remain silent. So are you one of them who sits there? You're so good, and you're a Christian, and you never lift up a finger to solve a problem. So today, are you willing to stand up and be counted? Are you willing to be your brother's keeper? Are you willing to do something to solve our own problems? If you're 17 to 55 and you're in good health, we have a table out there, and today don't leave before you put your name on the register. Thank you so much.
Give it up again for Veronica Kararwa. I personally knew the son, and the story is heartening knowing that a lot of us don't even consider as an option to be on the donor register. And the next thing is knowing that we give for charity as Face of Kenya. We are standing here to give for charity. You don't always have to give money. Sometimes you can give your services, sometimes you can give blood.